indigenous cuisine and lifestyles of the charming people of Dominica. Experience the dynamic rhythms of our culture, music, and entertainment, our vibrant, unique niche agribusiness products, our refreshing range of colorful flowers, and the fabulous foliage in our horticulture. Explore the prolific life-sustaining values of our natural foods, herbal teas, spices, and medicines. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951. Every day, Monday to Friday, only on Q95, the big station.
Good afternoon again. We are hooking up with Castries St. Lucia as was promised this morning. There is a murder that took place about 2 weeks ago. I'll get the full explanation here. But Jesse is on the line with me. Jesse, it's a murder that's on the lips of every St. Lucian that you may talk to, still wondering what went on, what's going on. Jesse, can you give us the details, please? Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon, Matt. Yes, occurred about almost 2 weeks ago. We had a 9-month-old baby who was killed in her crib. A cord, a satin cord, I believe it was, wrapped around her neck in her crib.
She was 9 months?
9-month-old.
Okay.
Yes. Her mother stepped out of the house and left her unattended, unfortunately, to go buy some Pampers and milk. And in coming back, she noticed that her daughter was not responding. Of course, she said that her daughter was very vivacious, even at 9 months old, and she would call out to the child, and the child would respond at that point. But she didn't hear the child's cooing, so she ran in and she saw the child suffocating. And it's an unfortunate situation. Of course, investigations went immediately underway. Unfortunately, the police have not brought anyone in for questioning. There are no suspects at this time. The mother, rumors were being spread around and about in St. Lucia that perhaps it was the mother who committed the crime. However, she has vehemently denied that she has any involvement with regard to, the death of her baby. And evidently so, we can see certain parts of this situation. She went to purchase milk and Pampers back, calling out her daughter.
And the baby was very, very, according to reports, very alive when she left the baby.
Very much so. Very much so. The mother says that her daughter was very vivacious, very lively. She had put her in the cot just to rush out and to come back. Nothing was wrong. She didn't see anything wrong with her daughter. But it is evident that, there was definitely somebody who came in and strangled the child. It wasn't an accident or anything to that effect. The police have ruled it as a homicide, and currently investigations are underway, but no one has been brought in for questioning. No one is suspected of killing the child.
What are the other suggestions, Jesse, you were hearing in St. Lucia at this time?
Well, at the moment, everybody is dumbfounded. No one has any idea. Instead of really looking at the crime and the crime scene and making assessments of what happened, we found that the public society has essentially begun to judge the mother. Why would she leave her 9-month-old unattended? Even facets of the mother's own life. The mother did admit to having somewhat of a gambling problem, but she did state that never stopped her from taking care of her child. So
does she have other children?
Yes, I think the child is the 5th child, but it's the only child living with her at the moment.
So St. Lucians are saying what at this time?
Well, no one has any answers. No one has any answers. It is it has essentially befuddled everybody. So we have no answers as to what has transpired. But just this past weekend, we had a gentleman was killed in the south of the island. We had along the Borai Beach in Piero, and we have a group. We had a group of young boys who were brought in for questioning. Of course, we are expecting to hear that charges will be laid. They're between the ages of 12 to 17, 18 years old, I believe. They're being they're being held responsible for the death of that individual. It is said that he was stoned to death. His body was found along the beach, and these individuals, these teenage boys, were brought into custody. So they're currently detained by police. Quite an unfortunate situation. Of course, this is taking. This is the headline which people are talking about more, considering that we pretty much found ourselves at nowhere of the situation with the baby girl, baby Dinah. So this is the news story which is happening right now. We're trying to get information from the police with regard to what is happening with the boys. Where will they be put? I mean, some of them are minors. Will they be put at our boys training center? Which of the boys qualified to be sent to the correctional facility?
Somebody's asking me to ask you at this time, based on the story you just gave about the baby, 9-month or 8-month-old baby, what is the time frame this incident took place? Somebody wants to know that all the way from the United States.
The time frame, it was in broad daylight. It was in the afternoon, I believe.
Like late afternoon, early afternoon?
Yes.
How far is the shop from the mother's residence? Are these questions being asked?
Yes, I think there's no word, conclusive word, but I think that they were saying that the mother took almost an hour to get back. But I cannot confirm that information for you. She never gave us this information. We just know that she went, and if you want to gauge the time, if she told us that she went to purchase Pampers and milk and return, I know I have an idea of a rough outline of what the Marsha Boulevard looks like, and she probably...
It could take her an hour?
I don't think it would. It would not, but I cannot confirm for you the time it took her to get that done.
All right, I want to say thank you. And of course, we see an increase of crime in St. Lucia like we do in Dominica. You know, over the past weekend, we saw about 2 murders. You know, and if you ask the police, they will tell you about 12 murders for the year.
Wow.
How many do you have?
We are on our 26th homicide for the year.
25th?
6th.
All right.
Yes.
Jesse, again, thank you for sharing with us from St. Lucia this afternoon. We'll be talking to you very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt.
All right. Thank you.
Pan Dominique, in collaboration with the Dominica Lotteries Commission, presents the release of Pan in Harmony live in concert with a special theme, Steel Survivors, on Saturday, June 10th at the Arak House of Culture from 8 p.m. Special guest, Mao Steel Pan, Dominica Grammar School Steel Pan. Entrance only $20 and proceeds in aid of the Dominica Cancer Society. Partners include DBS Radio, KRFM and QFM, the big station. Pan in Harmony live in concert, June 10th at the Arak House of Culture. A classical night of Pan Fiesta. Be there!
Nature Island Cruise 951 on Live 95. Every day, Monday to Friday. Exploring the sights, sounds, happening talk on the blocks, healthy lifestyles, and culture of Dominica. Enjoy daily giveaways of valuable products and services from leading businesses on the Nature Island of the Caribbean. Stay locked and immerse yourself in the breathtaking views from above the undulating hills and valleys, and in the magnificent marine adventures beneath our Caribbean Sea. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951 on Live 95, only on the big station. Get a taste of the enchanting Creole and indigenous cuisine and lifestyles of the charming people of Dominica. Experience the dynamic rhythms of our culture, music, and entertainment, our vibrant, unique niche agribusiness products, our refreshing range of colorful flowers, and the fabulous foliage in our horticulture. Explore the prolific life-sustaining values of our natural foods, herbal teas, spices, and medicines. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951. Every day, Monday to Friday, only on Q95, the big station.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Do you have wedding dresses, prom, first communion, or confirmation dresses, ball or dinner gowns, men's and boys' formal suits, or any kind of formal wear that you need to part way with? Well, now's your chance to empty out your closet as we are looking to purchase them from you. For more information, please call 315-7171. Hurry, you don't want to miss this opportunity.
We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright like a diamond.
The Anchorage Hotel presents Dominica's hottest fringe event, Anchorage's Work Sound and Power Jazz and Creole Edition on Thursday, 1st from 7 p.m. to midnight, featuring Mario Charlemagne and the NJ30 Jazz Quartet out of Barbados. Spoken word by Golden Drum Award winner Gregory Rabas. Cultural performances by Band Akayo of the Kalinago territory and other special guest artists. Art presentation highlight by Dominica's renowned artist Ellingsworth Moses. Entrance $30 single, $50 for couples. Sponsored by Kabuli, Top Arman, Pirates, Malcolm Stevens, and Discover Dominica Authority. See you at the show before the show. The Anchorage is Word, Sound and Power, Jazz and Creole Edition on Thursday, 1st June.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Do you have wedding dresses, prom, first communion, or confirmation dresses, ball or dinner gowns, men's and boys' formal suits, or any kind of formal wear that you need to part way with? Well, now's your chance to empty out your closet as we are looking to purchase them from you. For more information, please call 315-7171. Hurry, you don't want to miss this opportunity.
We're beautiful like diamonds in the sky. Shine bright like a diamond.
It's the afternoon. Tuesday, 30th. This is the big station with the big stars in the afternoon. A big announcement for the Opposition United Workers Party coming up. But before that, let's join Carlisle John Baptist to tell us what was going on in the courts this morning. Carlisle John Baptist, good afternoon to you.
Hi, Matt. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to your many listeners here and abroad. Because one of the things that is being spoken about over the last 12 or so hours is the decision by the state to reduce the charge of murder
to manslaughter, Carlisle. I heard that a lot today, this morning.
Yes, very much so. In fact, I met with family members. I saw the deceased dad, the dad of the deceased, and I saw his aunt, and they are not at all happy. And I do not know, like I said to you, what the defense or the state would have as it relates to the evidence. But that is not at all going down well. I do not want us to polarize the matter, and I do not want us to show any emotion in the matter, except to say that family members of the deceased are not at all happy in what would have transpired.
It appears so very clearly. Carlisle have been stopped and have been spoken to about they're still sort of baffled as to why this would happen.
Well, many people are baffled. I remain baffled also, but I guess, like I said before, let us not show any emotions in the matter, and let us treat it as we ought to treat it and handle it professionally. On the other hand, Matt, my understanding, well, in fact, I was approached by one individual who seemed to be closely associated with that matter, one Sick Berry. He must be a sick young man. From my indications, I know that he is a witness in the matter. He has been sought after by the police, and his behavior has been very irrational. I just want to say to him, Matt, cool out. And I, Carlisle John Baptist, is not threatened by his utterances or will be intimidated by his utterances. I'm the last person that he would want to tackle. He saw me some time ago, and he had a few words to say to me, and I basically dismissed him. So I want him to know that I'm getting his many messages, and he needs to go down, he needs to relax himself. and go talk to the police.
You're doing what you have to do.
I'm doing what I have to do. And he must stop sending messages to me. I'm receiving his messages. He has already met me in person and given me his piece, his 10 cents on the matter. So, Sickberry, you appear to be very sick. I suggest you go and see a doctor. On the other hand, Matt, on another matter now going on in the court, the prosecution and the defense closed their case in the murder trial involving Rudy Jr. Jones of Marigot. Remember, that matter took place on 24th of August 2012. In his unsworn statement from the prisoner's dock, Rudy Jr. Jones said this: I'm from the village of Marigot. I used to work with water company Dewasco. That day, Friday, when I left work, I was picked up by a bus in the bus stop and went to Marigot. I did get paid that day. I had $1,800 on me. The bus dropped me in the junction, took out the plastic of money in my pocket, took out $20, paid the driver. He gave me back $10. I went to the shop after the bus left in the bus by Jeffrey Charles shop to buy a Guinness. While being served by the bartender, I was opening the Guinness and felt two hands in my pocket. When I turned, I saw Falcon Wallace, that's the deceased, on one side and Frankie on the other side. I asked them, what's the problem? Falcon, the deceased, said he was going to rob me tonight. I took my drink, left him, and left the shop and went home. I arrived at a standpipe close to my house. I always stop there to clean my shoes. Heard a voice saying, you're going to get robbed tonight, for true. I continued cleaning my shoes, felt a slap in my ears. I walked up to him, Falcon, and asked him, why did you slap me? I am not your child. He said, it's the plastic of money he wants. I asked him if I was working for him. He said, I only come up weekends since I work in town. He made another attempt to give me another slap. So I passed the piece of knife on him. He fell. I went to the pipe, drank water, and went home. That's all. So that is his statement, unsworn statement from the prisoner's dock. However, in the state's case, the prosecution headed by defense lawyer Cornelia Felix, she said that the state's case is clear. It's a clear case of murder. The accused intended to kill or cause GBH with no lawful justification for his intention. She went on to address the jury for at least 1 hour. She also spoke about an eyewitness account, one eyewitness who gave an eyewitness account as to what would have transpired. She said that in all, she's asking the jury to believe the prosecution's case, that he never told the police he had $1,800 in his pocket. In fact, Matt, she looked at a statement that he gave to the police and what he gave from the prisoner's dock. And she looked at, according to her, the various inconsistencies that would have derived from what he said a few years ago to what he said this morning. And she said to him, look at the evidence in its totality. The inconsistencies, they are great. They are major because he was lying and still lying today. No evidence that the deceased provoked the accused. The accused provoked the deceased. He was following him around the bar and the outcome of the bar. The defense is alleging that there was no provocation. The accused also corroborated some of what eyewitness Tony said. He was not acting in self-defense. Plain retaliation, revenge, she said. However, David Bruni, the lawyer for Jones, said the prosecution never spoke about a number of matters. You have to tie the statement as to where the killing took place what is the deceased doing in the vicinity of the home of the accused. It's clear, 15 minutes away, no reasons to pass there. The state has to prove every element of its case. No evidence of the slap. He also spoke about the knife. He said, where is the knife? We have a search warrant for the knife. It's not in evidence. Inconsistent evidence about the knife. And he also spoke about the eyewitness. He said the evidence of the eyewitness, Tony, is riddled with inconsistencies. Tomorrow from 9:30 a.m., Justice Victoria Charles Clark will sum up the case and then ask the jury to retire to consider its verdict matter.
Very, very interesting. Kalal will keep following that story tomorrow as you continue there. 127, great job as usual from the courts. We'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. We continue right here, Talk on the Block. Of course, we'll be talking to Mr. Gabriel Christian, George Irvin Andre in a short while. But remember, we are in the hurricane season. Stay tuned. And you'll hear from the Chief Med Officer there. Let's listen.
Well, every year a forecast is issued by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that's NOAA, and they issue the forecast on the 25th of May, and the forecast is for an above normal hurricane season. And the expectation is for 11 to 17 named storms, of which 5 to 9 are expected to become hurricanes, and 2 to 4 are expected to become major hurricanes, and that would be of category 3 and above with winds of 111 miles per hour or greater. Based on the forecast, well, every year
we'll do that again.
Issued by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that's NOAA, and they issued a forecast on the 25th of May, and the forecast is for an above normal hurricane season. And the expectation is for 11 to 17 named storms, of which 5 to 9 are expected to become hurricanes, and 2 to 4 are expected to become major hurricanes, and that would be of category 3 and above with winds of 111 miles per hour or greater. Based on the forecast,
I don't know what is going on here, but I'll keep trying, okay? It seems to be having a little technicality here we'll deal with. 128. We'll continue and give you that information, but basically he's saying that we're going to have an above average hurricane season starting Thursday. And we have with me, of course, for a few minutes, the chairman of the La Plaine Disaster Committee. Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you? Good afternoon to the listeners out there.
Did you just hear the news coming?
Yeah, I heard it. I heard it's kind of like interesting and troubling though that the major hurricanes for this year, 2 to 3, will be actually huge hurricanes. That's why we have to have, without a perfect plan, there's no perfect recovery. That's why we need to, all disaster areas need to hurry up and form the committees and have stuff.
Are you ready in La Plaine?
Of course, we are. We have been formed since January, and we reinstated. We recommitted ourselves into the 2017 year. We have a meeting coming up on the 7th of this month, which is very soon. We have a perfect plan. We have a plan that we're going to sketch out and put out and then send out to every member of the committee.
But Jason, even on the weekend, you were sending pictures out. Something happened on that plane?
That's right. The Laron area, we have the Laron Bypass Bridge, which is the bridge that they're under construction, that they are allowing vehicles to pass on. That's completely washed away into the sea, out in the open sea, ocean. They used the small tunnel tubings, and apparently it was not strong enough or could hold the amount of volume of water that was coming down to the Laron area, and it actually washed away, and now they have to start all over again. Engineering might be a problem there. Whoever is advising the engineers to continue to do a better job, and then maybe next time that if the rain falls, because in that area rain falls heavy, and once it falls heavy, it washes everything
but
away.
Based on, of course, what you have seen, and not only in La Plaine, let's say island-wide, the country cannot take another strong storm.
Yeah, you see, everywhere in Dominica has a different type of disaster zone. You have I think you have Portsmouth area, it's a different area. You have La Plaine, you have landslides, Odalis, Rosalie. But Dominica definitely cannot afford or take another storm like Erica. And what I'm hearing what I'm hearing now with the forecast for this year, we have some problems coming our way. And that's why we need to be ready. We need to be organized. We need to be prepared. Always remember, without a perfect plan, there's no perfect recovery. And that's why I'm asking every constituent and every person in La Plaine, from La Plaine all the way to go back to the east, be prepared, be ready, because organize your committees and work together. Because your first responders, the police, the fire and ambulance service, take this serious, because this is something that we do not want to have another Erica repeat itself.
Okay, and I know you can go on and on and on as it relates to disaster. You've been doing a great job down there in La Plaine. I'm hoping that the other chairmen take suit and get prepared for this hurricane season starting Thursday. We'll talk a little more about that. But you're in to talk about to give another major announcement. What's going on?
Absolutely. As a PRO for the as I'm here as the United Workers Party, we there's a People Powers meeting, which is June 1st, 2017 at 7:30 p.m. at Lago Square. We commend the patriots of this blessed land for standing firm against the most dangerous attack to date on elections with integrity, freedom, and democracy. But this is not the end of the dictator's plan to legitimize election bribery. He has threatened to try again. So we watch and wait to stand and say yet again no. But we want to thank all those who stand for us, all those who stand for the party. On the Wednesday, the 2 days of demonstration at the outside the Parliament building, but we are calling on all Dominicans from all east, west, north, south, central to Lago on Thursday, which is June 1st, 7:30 p.m. The People's Power meeting. The Honorable Lennox Linton will be addressing you, and all the other party officials will be addressing you to thank you and also to continue fighting the struggle on this Thursday, as we head on to this Thursday for the meeting coming up.
So that's Thursday coming.
That's correct. The June 1st, I think will be this Thursday. We're just asking everybody to show up, come up, or start organizing your buses, start organizing your people. Those from the east, west, north, start calling your peoples and your execs and everybody else. Have them come out in large numbers. We want to get a massive rally, a massive crowd, a massive turnout. Let us show this administration that enough is enough, and then let us show that we can represent and we can turn out in large numbers.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
Have a great afternoon, okay?
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you so much. 1:33, big meeting of the United Workers Party, Thursday, Lagon. So, Patriots, thank you, sir. Patriots, get ready for this big one on Thursday. Getting ready to talk to Mr. Gabriel Christian and George Irvin Andre being honored this weekend.
National Cooperative Credit Union Limited is offering cash secured loans at a very special 5.99% interest rate. Members can use savings and deposits to quickly obtain loans for any purpose. Just walk into any of NCCU's 6 branches today and apply. Set your own repayment terms and get your same day loan. Promotion ends May 31, 2017. Terms and conditions apply.
The sweet sounds of jazz and Creole, Dominica is calling. Unwind and chill May 28th to June 3rd at the Evergreen, Anchorage and Fortune Hotels, Urban Garden Cafe, Hotel de Champs, Atlantic View and Riverstone Bar and Grill. Then on to Fort Shirley on June 4th for a day of true Nature Island vibes. Presented by the Government of Dominica with headline partner Discover Dominica Authority. Visit dominicafestivals.com for more information. May 28th through June 4th, 2017. Dominica's Jazz and Creole, a smooth island vibe.
Anchorage Hotel presents Dominica's hottest fringe event, Anchorage's Word, Sound and Power Jazz and Creole Edition on Thursday, 1st June from 7 p.m. to midnight, featuring Maria Charlemagne and the NJ3O Jazz Quartet out of Barbados. Spoken word by Golden Drum Award winner Gregory Rabas. Cultural performances by Band Akayo of the Kalinago Territory and other special guest artists. Art presentation highlight by Dominica's renowned artist Ellingsworth Moses. Entrance $30 single, $50 for couples. Sponsored by Kabuli, Top Ahmad, Pirates, Malcolm Stevens and Discover Dominica Authority. See you at the show before the show. The Anchorage's Word, Sound and Power Jazz and Creole Edition on Thursday, 1st June.
Okay, we're here in the afternoon, and this is Talk on the Block. We do apologize for, of course, the little delay there, but we're hooking up with Councillor King and, of course, our good friend from Virginia, Mr. Christian, a lawyer, attorney at law, Christian in Virginia, USA. They're both on the line with us, and Mr. King is joining us from New York City this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Christian. How are you?
Good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon to your listening audience. And I want to thank you again for being a voice of reason and a voice of education on a great many subjects that are important to not only Dominicans at home, but also Dominicans abroad. And, of course, we're happy to have with us the esteemed Congressman, I say Congressman, but he'll be that soon, but Councilman from New York City Council.
Andy King.
Andy King for the Bronx District.
Good afternoon, Mr. King.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Brother Matt, and to all my Dominican brothers and sisters. It's a delight and pleasure to share a thought, a conversation, more importantly, embrace and loving between each and every one of us, here and abroad.
Well, I'm happy you could join us, Mr. King. I'm going to take you first. You can tell us what's going on. And, of course, we do apologize for the absence of George Irvin Andre, who seemed to be a little busy at this time. I'm sure we'll get the opportunity to talk to him later this week. Councilman Andy King, what's going on with this big tribute being paid to our both Dominicans in New York City Saturday night?
Yes. You know, in the month of June, we celebrate Caribbean heritage in the city of New York, and we're just excited about pulling our brothers and sisters from all the islands to come together to reach out and give respect to those who are serving and who are standing strong, keeping traditions alive, and just making us all feel good about who we are as people from the Caribbean. You know, my family is from the Bronx. From Alabama and Georgia, where my family originally is from. But, you know, I wake up every day in the Caribbean because I'm married to a lovely Dominican child by the name of Neva Shillingford, who is the daughter of, not gone too soon, but Eric Shillingford, who once owned Eric's Bakery in the island of Dominica, his only daughter. So I have a Caribbean spice always in my life. I'm so happy that the Lord has brought us together. So this Saturday, we're going to be doing something really huge, celebrating a number of awardees from the island of Dominica, such as Dr. Clayton Shillingford, and we will be recognizing our good brother that's on the line, Gabriel Christian, and Dr. Irving Andre. So we're excited about that. But equally important, our Speaker of the New York City Council from the island of Puerto Rico, Melissa Monterrito, will be honoring her, as well as Henry Garito, who is the executive director of the largest municipal union in the city of New York, and he's from the island of the Dominican Republic. So we're excited about all those honorees, but even equally as exciting, we have the former ambassador of Jamaica, Ambassador Curtis Ward, and the current Dominican ambassador to the United Nations, Maureen Bannis Roberts, who we're looking to celebrate as well. So it's going to be an exciting day as we recognize our brothers and sisters, but I think it's going to be a joy for us to hear from our world-renowned opera singer from the island of Dominica, Mary Claire Gerard, who will be performing. So it's going to be a day of joy, colors, and just tradition, some great food we'll be enjoying, but then a number of elected officials across the city of New York who come from the Caribbean will also be participating. So I'm excited about, as we continue to build our relationships, stay strong, and doing all that we can, and making sure that people know that the challenges that they go through in the Caribbean, but more importantly, recently with the weather conditions that have caused stress in the island of Dominica as well as Haiti. But we want to do all that we can to make sure that our brothers and sisters in the island of Dominica, as we celebrate in Dominica, but all across the Caribbean, know that they have the support of their brethren here on the main line of the United States.
All right, we want to say thank you again. I see you have a very distinguished list there on your lineup to be awarded.
Well, a lot of us have done a lot of great work, and I always believe it's always best to give people their flowers while they can still smell them. So I think this is a good day that we do this, as we also recognize 25 years Point Coast Press. If I said it correctly.
Yeah, Point Coast Press, yes.
Yes, and that 25th anniversary for them writing the story of Dominique and keeping the history alive. And I think that's the best way this generation understands what their life is all about, when they understand the efforts and the work and the commitment of the generations prior. Sometimes our children, in 2017 think the world started in 2000 when they were born, but there was a whole lot that happened before they got here. And that's what, this is why a celebration like this one chooses to exhibit. So we're grateful and thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. King. Stay on the line there. Mr. Gabriel Christian, of course, the distinguished attorney at law from Dominica, will be one of those awarded on Saturday night. Mr. Gabriel Christian, how do you feel at this time?
Well, I'm just listening to the host for Saturday, and I feel very moved. All of us here at the office, the law firm, our friends, family, we feel very moved to be honored at the Stephen Schwarzman building. That building is the epicenter or the flagship building of the New York Public Library system. It's one of the greatest libraries in the world. It was opened in 1911. It's almost like a cathedral. And to be honored at one of the greatest libraries in the world, certainly the greatest library in New York City, one of the greatest libraries in the country, maybe on par only just after the Library of Congress itself, is a great honor for us as Dominicans. And I say this because in recent times there have been questions about the loyalty of Dominicans overseas to their country. And we want to make sure that everybody knows, and I think Congressman, I keep saying Congressman, he will be that soon, but Councilman King certainly knows that what we try to do when we go overseas, and we ask all young boys and girls, all students, is to excel in college. Hold the flag of your respective island and Caribbean unity and the unity of all people high. Conduct yourself accordingly. Excel in your profession. Do well. And when you've done that, never, ever forget from whence you came. And turn back and give back to the land of your birth. Not only at election time, but every time, every day. I tell people when I go to work or I go to a function, I'm like a mother gone to market. Dominica is always on my mind because that's where I was born, that's where I was nourished. And I want to say something about my dear friend and colleague and brother, Right Honorable Justice Irvin Andre, Dr. Andre. We met in the research section of the Roosevelt Public Library, a gift to Dominica by the Scottish-American iron magnate Andrew Carnegie in 1905. He gave us a gift of £5,000 on what was I think Governor Bell was the governor at that time. And the library is still the same library that Governor Bell persuaded, I guess, Carnegie to make that donation for. And we would stay there, Irving and I, between, let's say, period 74, 75, 76, until closing time, where Miss Rivera and Miss Henry would come and ask us to leave because we were so engrossed in the books in the research section because, Matt, you could not take those books home with you. The books were not to be left. They were not to be lent out. They were simply there for to be read on the spot. And so we would almost be in a competition. And as a result of that relationship, when Rosie Douglas returned to Dominica and we formed the Popular Independence Committee, we formed a group called Cadre Number 1. And we would meet at the home of a Dominican trade unionist public works worker called Hilarion Dejean, of blessed memory. He's passed on now. Because that's where we would meet at his home. He had a bachelor's pad there at the bottom of Federation Drive. And we'd study the constitutional proposals. We'd study the economy of Dominica. We'd study DCP and why DCP was a model of transforming products like cocoa into finished products like soap and oil. We were talking about geothermal in 1977, 78. And so that's what we did when we were 14, 15, 16 years old. And that's how far back Judge Andrew and I went. He went on to the University of the West Indies and distinguished himself with honors and came back and taught at the SMA. And I was teaching at the grammar school. And, of course, as you know the story, because I was a supporter of the Labour Party and of Rosie and Mike Douglas and that line, the Freedom Party government denied me a scholarship for law. And Irving wrote me a note from Jamaica. He was at Mona and said, Gabe, unless you move now, your hopes for academic achievement will be forever frustrated and will be continuously aborted. And I made my way to Washington, where Sam was at medical school at Howard, and I worked in restaurants. I worked as a janitor. I worked on Donald Trump's boat in 1984 when he was a up-and-coming land developer. I worked on Jacques Cousteau's boat, the Explorer. I worked on the old presidential yacht, $4 an hour, sun and rain, to work my way through law school. Always being of the view that once I would attain some degree of success, I would write about Dominica's story. And in 1992, Irving and I asked a few people, Lennox Honeychurch, Steinberg Henry, Alwyn Bully, if they were interested in an anthology of Dominican history. And the response was lukewarm, and so we decided to go on our own. And we published in 1992. June 1st, we got together the final manuscript of In Search of Eden, Dominica, through travails of a Caribbean mini-state. And that was our first publication. And in the 25 years since, we have published 34 books. I published and authored and co-authored 8. Irving has maybe done about 15 on his own. And then many other Dominicans, Alec Lawrence, Hubert Charles, Dr. Peter Saint-Jean, Dr. Osmond Parent, Don Christopher, Charles Maynard. Many others have published on the Poncassi Press books on science, on agriculture, even on religion. A Nigerian pastor, F.I. Manuel, through Avenel James Christian, published on the Poncassi Press. And so we want to thank you, because you met me, as I always am fond of reminding Dominicans, on an education mission when we went to partner with the University of New Orleans. In the first 30 days of Rosie Douglas's coming to power, I met you, Carlisle John Baptist, and a gentleman called Felix Augustine at the University of New Orleans, again, focused on education. So what we've done is we've paid tribute to our country, the land from which we owe a degree of heritage, and we have decided to keep on writing, because certainly it is said the pen is mightier than the sword.
Very, very interesting there. Coming way back from 1992, Poncassi Press have written some 20, how many books?
34.
34. I have that wrong.
In fact, I just want to let you know, Irving Andre has been in the forefront. He's been more prolific than I have been.
Mm-hmm.
He actually, within the past 10 days, issued 100 years of Dominican football with pictures of football teams going back to 1926 with famous footballers like John Bully. I think that was the father of Alwyn Bully. People like Carrington, people like Roy Williams, the famous Bogoroy, who would fly through the air. Harlem Bombers, Combermere, all these famous teams, Desmond Dewhurst, and with pictures, about 20 to 30 pictures of people like Patrick John and others when they were teenagers in their football gear. And a lot of those pictures came from the diaspora, from people like Carrington and Flexi Sims, because pictures that we had on Dominica Many people lost those pictures in the hurricane of 1979. So if, again, the diaspora was not there to provide, because people left with their photographs and they had those albums in Canada, in New York, they were able to give those albums to Pont Casse Press so we could have the book well illustrated with all football greats. And so young footballers have a sense of history that we, in fact, did great things prior. Now, you know, a couple of years ago, Dr. Andre and Pont Casse Press also published 100 Years of Dominican Cricket, going back to the 1900s. And we are also proud to say that that book was well illustrated with pictures, many of them from the diaspora albums that escaped the ferocious winds of Hurricane David in 1979.
I'll tell you what, though. What will happen, of course, our councilman, Mr. King, is still on the line?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're still on the line. Okay, so how would the awards be distributed? What is the style of Saturday's presentation?
You're saying the style. Well, you know, once you...
In terms of what it would be the priority Saturday night?
I apologize. Say it for me again.
I'm saying what will be the lineup, if you will, on Saturday night?
Well, we will. It's Saturday afternoon at 2:00.
Okay.
You know, as people enter into the Celeste Bartos Forum room, they'll be welcomed with a red carpet and picture taking of their countrymen and country sisters. They'll have an opportunity to partake in some meal that's going to be their light refreshments and some nice tropical drinks, and you know, taking us back to a place of comfort at which the Caribbean islands always offer. And then we have light performances that will happen. Then there will be a number of dignitaries that will speak, giving praise and homage to those that we'll be honoring. And then there will be the award presentation of the 8 honorees that we're recognizing, a very distinguished, unique, one-of-a-kind award for each of the honorees that lets them know that they are distinguished in their work above all others that are in the same field. So we're looking forward to a warm, loving environment that allows for people to walk away with a newfound respect of the Caribbean islands and all the work that people do from there.
Okay, Mr. King, I want to again say thank you for joining us before we allow you to go. And thank you for doing this for not only Dominicans, but for the Caribbean people.
My honor and my pleasure. Like I say, you know, people ask us where we're from. I said, hey, we're from the same tree, just a different branch. That's God's way of keeping us all one.
And let me tell you again, thanks for integrating with the Dominican there.
God is good.
God is good. God is good all the time. They say 156. Are you still on the line with me, Mr. Christian?
Yes, indeed. I just want to say, you know, not only I want to join you in thanking Brother King, because he's certainly a leader. You know, just a few months ago, he had hundreds of people at the Schomburg Center in Harlem for Black Studies talking about the 3/5 clause, and he was so kind as to invite me to lend my, you know, knowledge of constitutional law, U.S. constitutional law, to seek the repeal of that segment of the U.S. Constitution, which goes back to the days of slavery, which said that African Americans were 3/5 of a person. So I want to thank him for his leadership in education. I want to thank him for his leadership as chairman of the New York City Council Library Committee, which oversees all the libraries in New York City. I want to thank him for, as you said, integrating with the Caribbean, and in particular, one of our beautiful daughters. I want to thank also our parents, Irving's parents, my parents, certainly and the King's parents, for giving us the wisdom to seek the unity of our people and to show the respect to those of our people who've ascended to some degree of accomplishment, so we can encourage them and not hinder them in that process. But I also want to thank Dominica for giving us birth, and our teachers. You know, I don't want to miss anybody out, but certainly my Auntie Floss, you know, Miss Levy at the Sixth Form days, Mr. Hubert Charles, Alwyn Bully, Kay Polidor, Cecilia Green, Henry Volney. You know, those are persons who taught Irving Andre. Josephine Joseph didn't teach me, but she was always an inspiration. Those persons who taught us both at the Rosa Mixed Infant School or at Portsmouth, or in the case of Irvin grew up in Portsmouth, or the grammar school, we owe them a great deal, and we have tried our utmost to be, worthy of their efforts in teaching us by excelling best we can. And so I want to invite all Dominicans, and I think Mr. King, Councilman King would agree with me, in the tri-state area or further afield who can make it to New York, so we can in fact join in communion in a productive way, paying due respect and due regard to Caribbean American Heritage Month, and letters. We are a learned people. Dominicans are a learned people. We have a great heritage in literature and in history writing, and it's by that recording of our history and that respect for our heritage that we can in fact rise and be recognized in the family of nations as a worthy and competent people in all things. And it's that kind of pride that we seek to relentlessly work with and for and on behalf of, so that we can reflect the best image at all times on our country, and not have it be the case that the worst is in fact exalted by some of our people when they misbehave, either in private or in public office. We want it to be the case we can push forth the best image for our country, and always have Dominicans and other West Indians and African Americans, of which we are part, to be looked at in the most positive light, because we are learned, we are productive, and we seek to build a better world.
All right, just before I allow you to go, Mr. Christian, yesterday, of course, was the 29th day of May, 1979, a day that will always go down in history. You wrote a book on this. Why is this very important for us in Dominica? Why should that day always be important?
Well, let me just say this. I just came out of court in Annapolis, and on my way back to my car in the garage was a stand with a colored drawing of Annapolis in the old days, and it was noted that Annapolis was once the capital of the United States, that the capital was first at Princeton and then at Annapolis, Maryland, before it went to Washington, D.C. And so people come in to go to the State House or the Governor's House or the courthouse or a restaurant, walking by in Annapolis, can pause for a moment and read off a plaque on a platform that speaks to the history of the city, with pictures of what it used to be like and what it is today. That is what we want to see more of in Dominica, because a people without a knowledge of their past are a people who will not be able to chart a proper future. So we took it upon ourselves in '92 to record May 29th, because it was an epic event in our history. Our government had made errors, and the people made change. Now, that is not what we want, that change is made in the streets. We rather it be the case that it's made in the lecture halls and in the parliament and in civil discourse, where we can protect lives and property, because we don't want to promote lawlessness to any society. We don't want to promote turmoil to any country. But we, by writing the story of May 29th, can provide policymakers, students, the ordinary citizen, with an example of what happened in the past. And so hopefully we can take guidance from that and point us in a better direction in the future. We can see what worked, we can see what didn't work. And I will share with you finally. In the book Comandante Pineres, which you've not had an opportunity to speak to me about, but you will in time, it will be also available at the library. We will make a donation to Mr. King, to the New York Public Library, of all our works that we've gathered, so that the New York Public Library can be seized of that information. In Comandante Pineres, I talk about the Grenada Revolution. I had the good fortune to have met, or maybe say misfortune, people who made that revolution. Maurice Bishop, Liam James, Leon Cornwall, Captain Peter David, who's now a lawyer in Grenada. But some of them spent 27 years in jail. I'd been with them in Cuba in 1978. When they went into office through the revolution of March 13th, there are a couple of things they did which at the time, supporting the revolution, we thought was wise. But on reflection, 30 years later, we realized was very unwise. Let me give you some examples. They clamped down on press freedom. They closed down the Torchlight newspaper. They closed down Parliament. They suspended habeas corpus. Brother Maurice would write a note and say, Andy King is a counter-revolutionary. Take him up the hill. What happened as a result of that we can reflect upon, is the revolution devoured its own. Because when trouble arose in differences of opinion between the revolutionaries. There was no parliament to which they could repair their divide. There was no parliament to which they could retreat to discuss their differences. When they arrested Maurice Bishop, there was no habeas corpus. There was no lawyer who could go to court and get bail and say, bring Maurice to the court. Why are you holding Maurice? Release Maurice. Maurice was locked up in his house, tied on his bed with his girlfriend, Jackie Kraft. And what the people had to do, they had to burst the door of the house open, rescue Maurice Bishop, take him to the fort. And you know what happened on October 19th, 1983? Ewart Lane, interestingly, the twin of my closest Grenadian friend in college, ordered the commando with the armored cars, the Soviet-made BTR armored cars, to charge up that street, attack the fort with rocket fire and heavy machine gun fire, and slaughtered many, many Grenadian brothers and sisters, including Maurice Bishop, Jackie Kraft, Unison Whiteman, and all those others who had so violently tried to make a better day. They made mistakes in operational art. They made mistakes in trying to build a society without respecting the rudiments of democracy, rule of law, a parliament, habeas corpus, due process. I now have had the opportunity of years to look back at what we thought in those days was the better way to go. On reflection, was the wrong way to go. That if you're going to make change, you have to have democratic norms. You have to have a free press. You cannot have a single party dominating everything. You have to give the opposition equal share to radio time. The radio, where it's paid for by the taxpayers, must be shared by all the taxpayers, not some. That if you're doing a government event, it must be for all the people, not just the people who support the party to which you belong. Those are the things that literature, that history can allow us in a civilized way to analyze, discuss, and see the contours of which a society is made, and hopefully give us guidance to the future. Because if we do not have the history, and we do not have the intellectual honesty, and we do not have a moral compass that teaches us that which you do to the least of my brothers, that is what you do to me.
Well, here's my question to you, Mr. Gabriel Christian. Any lessons to be learned from the past? We're talking 1979 and Patrick John, by this current administration moving forward.
I just want to let you know what I'm going to say has nothing to do with Mr. King, and Mr. King is our guest on this program.
Yes,
I respect his time, but I just want to say this. Yes, indeed, many lessons. That is, the people on the ground are stronger than the people in power. That is, that one should never try to use parliamentary majorities to jam down the throats of a nation laws which are inimical to democracy. That is, we should always respect the voice of the people and the voice of reason. That is, we should never be deaf to opposing voices. And that is, we should use the model of the commons. That is, where we had the parish hall in those days, where we could sit down and discuss ideas. We could come in as a country and sit down, government, opposition, civil society, and peaceably solve our problem. That none of us have a monopoly on knowledge. None of us have a monopoly on the truth. But if we as a society can understand that we need to get away from arrogance, we need to get away from lawlessness, and we can sit down and resolve our problems, I think the message of 1979 would have been learnt. It would have been learnt that where a people are pushed too far, then you are in fact, creating explosive conditions. And that it is always better to jaw. That's what Winston Churchill said, than to war. And so in peaceable and peace-loving countries like Dominica, where we have challenges, I think our authors, our priests, or pastors, or politicians would do well to seek national concord, meaning the importance, for instance, of a national forum where all can speak and we can find common solutions to common problems. That is the way in which we need to go forward. That is the way in which I think we can be an example to the world. And that is why I think libraries are so important and writing is so important, because the writer basically can frame the issues in a way that are peaceable, and have those who oppose those points in which you stand do it also similarly in a peaceable way, and no one is dead yet. Everybody is still living, still breathing, still walking about, and hopefully holding hands.
Well, I just want to say, Mr. Gabriel, I suspect Mr. King may still be on the line. You there, Mr. King? I suspect Mr. King may have left us. And yesterday we carried out an exercise for Q95 as we seek more democracy and free press. And we were doing what you call a radiothon. And I suspect you wanted to make a contribution then. Now you have the chance, Mr. Gabriel.
Yes. I make a contribution, and you will put me offline to the person who will take my card down if it's a credit card that I have to give. But I certainly want to keep the voice of democracy alive in Dominica. I don't want to see Q95 disappear from the air, and I certainly want to contribute towards the sustenance of Q95. And I also make a call to the government of Dominica that they allow other citizens who are not part of the ruling party equal access to Radio Dominica or DBS Radio, because it's supported by the taxpayers of Dominica, and they should have a right to have a program or two every week where they can use the airwaves as paid for by the tax-paying citizenry to get through their point of view. So it should not be solely based on Q95's presence, to have alternate views be shared with our people at home and abroad.
All right, Mr. Gabriel Christian, I will allow somebody to give you a call, and you can make those arrangements for Q95. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you and Mr. Andre come Saturday.
I certainly want to thank you, Matt, and I want to thank God for Andy King and the leadership he has shown, and the New York City Council on behalf of all Dominicans, and certainly thank God for the life of Irvin Andre and his family, his wife, Kathy, and certainly my wife and my kids. They've been supportive all these late nights after we leave work, writing until 2, 3, 4 in the morning. We have to go to court at 9 in the morning. It's quite a task, but we felt inspired by the Almighty to do it. And, of course, we thank the people at the Dominica Nature Island Literary Festival for their inspiration as well.
All right, thank you again. And thank you on behalf of Q95. God bless you. 2010 is the afternoon time. This is Q95, and this is Talk on the Block. When we come back, we'll talk about some of the rubbish problems in Dominica. A lot of people have been talking about that. Let's take a few phone calls. Thank you. 210. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt. How are you doing?
Good.
Matt, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Christian and Mr. Andre on the achievement. Well done, getting the award on Saturday. Matt, I'd like to ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
What kind of you call that award did Mr. Astafan get year before last, Matt? Award? Give me a break. I speak in please. Cut me off.
I suspect you're asking me the question that you have the answer to.
Okay, he got that award at
right.
This award he got
at Independence.
What happened to people like Mr. Andre and Mr. Christian? Couldn't they get that same kind of award before that?
Well, it's based on the recommendations made. So maybe you should recommend them.
I will recommend them because I think Tony got his own for speaking. He got his sister award. I think
you're just something else. You.
Have a blessed day.
211. Good afternoon. If you feel this gentleman should be awarded, I just make the recommendations. Let's see if they'll take you on. Dominica, I've been hearing a lot of talk for the past few weeks. Is there a truck problem? Rubbish piling and piling and piling. We are the nature island of the Caribbean. Let's make it that way. Keep the community, keep the village, keep the country clean. Do you have a rubbish problem in your area too? The numbers are 449-3095. What do we do to deal with the problem? We're taking your phone calls this afternoon. It's 449-3095-96 and 97. Hello, talk to me.
Hey, good afternoon, man.
Yes.
I personally feel, I have mentioned it already.
Uh-huh.
This thing is deliberate by the dictator, What's happening in this country?
What do you think that have to do with the dictator, as you call him?
Because he handles the money from A to Z, and for such a long time, Mr. has been collecting funds from different areas for the same purpose. And you are telling me he allowed it to reach that stage after getting so many millions of dollars for passports money. I think this is deliberate. Even Rosoda's still stinking. If you check Cox Street is a perfect example for the past 2-3 years.
Well, something is wrong. I don't know what is wrong, but I've seen a lot of rubbish in recent times, and I don't know if I want to blame, as you said, the as you call him, the dictator. 2:13. Hello. It's the afternoon time. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matt.
How you doing?
Matt, I'm good. Matt, the problem, personally, after listening to different people for the past 2-3 weeks, I think the problem is we the people the way we dispose of our garbage. I don't think we
So
should.
don't blame anybody but yourself.
Yeah, I think the problem is us, because I think we should keep our rubbish at our home. Don't put it outside. That's the problem. Because I don't think it's a truck problem. It's not a solid waste problem. It is not a money problem. It is we the people that supposed to keep all our rubbish at our home. No matter what, just keep your rubbish at your home. Don't put it out. It's we that putting it out, so there's a problem. There's no collection problem, there's no truck problem, there's no money problem. Because what I've seen going around, trust me, I think we have grown accustomed and silent in terms of what I've seen around. The amount of garbage I see, my brother, and people going about their business like it's a normal day. My brother, something is wrong, and I want to simply say it's us. We should, when we have our garbage, dig a hole behind your house, put it in your bath, put it in your backyard, put it somewhere. Don't put it outside.
Don't blame the politician. Blame yourself.
Don't blame nobody. Just blame us, because that's the problem. We shouldn't be putting rubbish outside. Because Dominica don't have a collection system. Don't put your rubbish outside our people. Keep your rubbish at your home, in your yard, dig a hole, do whatever it takes. Do not put your rubbish outside. Have a good day.
All right, thank you very much. 449. What is the problem? How do we resolve the rubbish problem? Some people are blaming the politicians. Do you want to blame them, though? This caller is just saying, blame yourself. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Matt.
To you.
But I don't support the last caller. If we have government taking care of our waste in Dominica, you need to do the things to clean the country. Because, Mr. Matt, what you're placing and Dodan, next to the health center, there's rubbish. It's disturbing your spirit when you pass there. Next to the health center, it's a shame, it's hateful. It's government you want to blame for that, Mr. Gentleman.
All right, okay. Some people, again, blaming politicians. Some people are saying, blame yourself. Keep your rubbish inside because it's getting serious. Hello, how do we resolve it? Do we need some new trucks? Hello, talk to me. Yes.
I am not speaking on behalf of the nation.
No.
I'm speaking on my own behalf. I've been calling for the past 16 weeks.
You have been.
But I'm not going to complain again. I'm going to make a recommendation. And my recommendation is that the authorities buy a truck, let it serve the southeast, and let the village councils in the southeast responsible of the running of the truck. And then...
But here goes the problem. If you request a truck, it means that all other parishes will request a truck as well. You don't care about the other... You can't care about yourself?
Matt, don't put junction and injunctions on my presentation. I am talking for my area.
I'm asking you a question, sir. I respect your opinion. I'm saying you're talking about La Plaine. What about the other communities? Because it might appear that you're being selfish. Hello.
East, right?
Go ahead.
I'm talking for the southeast.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
And let the people in the other areas speak for themselves what they want and how their garbage could be controlled. So I am saying the southeast, from Grand Fort down to the list, government provide a truck, put it in the central area, which would be La Plaine, with a driver and sanitary engineers. And they would be responsible to haul the garbage every other day from Grand Fort,
La Plaine, Mont John, River Syriac. And that would solve our problems in the southeast. We would know when to put it out. We would have the itinerary, when it will be in Grenfell and Mont John. We would have the itinerary, when it would be La Plaine, Boetica, and Delis. And we would not have no problems in the southeast with garbage. And the southeast would remain clean, nice, and good.
I'm worried, Mr. Paul. I have to sort of go. I mean, you're adopting the selfish attitude. I'm worried about Dominica, okay? I'm saying that I think Dominica needs a few trucks. 218. Hello, talk to me. 4493095. We want all of Dominica, not just La Plaine and the southeast, to be beautiful and clean. Hello.
Yes, Matt, we want that. We would like all about to remain clean.
Yes.
But we Dominicans, some of us have our part to play, Matt. Matt, if we, they said that we'll come in, the people still come to pick up garbage.
Uh-huh.
Matt, if we, like even in areas like where I am there, in Tong, Zol, Goodwill, and these places, Matt, if we dispose our garbage the way it's supposed to be disposed of, we have containers, we put our garbage in plastic bags and put them in a container. When the garbage truck doesn't come, you haul it back in your yard, in your backyard, in your front yard, in your sideway yard. The place will stay clean. In the country, I don't know how they're disposing of their garbage, and I don't know what's happening to it. But I'm speaking about Rosa, from where I am, and I come from. People do not...
What is the condition in your area in terms of rubbish right now, as we speak?
In my area, as I had spoken about a couple last year before last, where the people were disposing of their garbage, I went to the, the solid waste people to put a sign there. They gave me the sign, I put it there. The people got angry, and they still keep placing their garbage in the same area. You hear me?
I'm hearing you.
When Mr. what's that man name from solid waste?
Mr. Jacob.
Mr. Jacob came there one day. I told him the people are still putting their garbage here. He couldn't wait to get out of the area. He never asked me what I was selling. The time he came there with the recycling truck taking pictures, and I told him they're putting their garbage in the same place. The sign was there. The people broke down the sign, and they threw the sign away, Matt. You hear what I'm telling you?
I'm hearing.
Jacob came in the area, and I told him about that. But he paid no attention to what I was saying. So, Matt, some of the blame, we have to take it for ourselves, Matt. You seen people in town, they're eating Kentucky, they're eating this. You tell them, why are you doing that there? Why are you throwing that there? Oh, people will clean it. Matt, that is the kind of mentality we have, and a lot of the time, we have to blame our own damn self.
All right, a change of mentality, a different view there. We're going to take a break and come back right after this.
The sweet sounds of jazz and Creole. Dominica is calling. Unwind and chill May 28th to June 3rd at the Evergreen, Anchorage, and Fortune Hotels, Urban Garden Cafe, Hotel de Champs, Atlantic View, and Riverstone Bar and Grill. Then on to Fort Shirley on June 4th for a day of true Nature Island vibes. Presented by the Government of Dominica with headline partner Discover Dominica Authority. Visit dominicafestivals.com for more information. May 28th through June 4th, 2017. Dominica's Jazz and Creole, a smooth island vibe.
Nissan Extra sets you free. Adventure starts here at Auto Trade Limited. 3 months, no interest. 3 years, free licensing. 3 years, free maintenance or up to 60,000 kilometers. Go where your mind just went. Backed by 3 years of manufacturer's warranty. Promotion runs from now till June 30th, 2017. Call our main number at 255-6800 or our mobile numbers at 613-2496 or 617-2497. Terms and conditions apply. Nissan, innovation that excites.
you by the Dominica National Lottery.
Heard the great news? Tropical Shipping is introducing a weekly loose cargo LCL service out of St. Martin and the Dominican Republic and fortnightly service out of Trinidad. Yes, that's right. Your number one choice for shipping. Tropical Shipping has heard your call and will offer their reliable loose cargo LCL shipping services from St. Martin, Dominican Republic, and Trinidad to Dominica, commencing May 28th. To learn more, visit or call the friendly and professional team at Tropical Shipping at 448-1744, located on Goodwill Road next to Springfield Trading. Tropical Shipping, committed to island life. No shipment too big or small. We ship it all.
Caribbean Hype 246 2017. Your official international passport to soca music. Saturday, July 1st at the Pottersville Savannah. And it all kicks off at 8 p.m. Performing live. Major Mystic. Hype DJ. Also on the lineup. DJ Shop. Your band. Triple K International. The first Serenade band. Performing straight from Trinidad. Traveling the voice. Lyrical. Jimmy and Neutral. And from Barbados, Hyper Sounds. This is one event you don't want to miss for the summer. Saturday, July 1st. Tickets cost $30 at the gate, $40 at the door. Ultimate VIP cost $200. Tickets on sale from June 1st at the Wheat Church main office. Real beer is a carry. Pottersville Savannah. Fun, entertainment, music, love. Carib Beer 246. Drink responsibly. Your soca passport. See you there. If you just want taking this full flight, you got
It's 2:25. You'd understand why everybody is advertising on the most popular talk show in the afternoon. This is the Talk on the Block. Tune out of 5. We control the morning and the afternoon. Everybody's calling. Matt, please. Ask somebody what is happening with the environmental tax that should be responsible for taking care of our garbage problems. What is really going on? But nobody seems to be giving the answer. 226. Even garbage trucks, or garbage, I should say just trucks, say they've been helping and not getting paid. Hello, talk to me. Something is going on. Hello.
Matt, when somebody drowning and needed help? And you sink in and you get nobody to help you?
Yes.
In Kingsville, going up to the hotel, Reggae Hotel, and in my houses where I live, Matt, the garbage is there, 10 storage high for a month. So what is government doing, and who doing it, and who not doing it? Pick up the garbage, please, because it's over. I mean, I don't what I want to say. There's too much garbage to where I live. And by the way, Matt, I am the keeper of the garbage where I live. Have a good day.
All right, thank you very much. Mike, good afternoon. What I believe, the government should provide a garbage truck for every constituency. Said that before. 227. Another telephone call. Hello, talk to me.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt.
Yes.
Matt, well, it has some people, they must put their garbage outside because I'll tell you why. Some people, they don't even have a backyard, and some people live in an apartment.
Okay.
And some of them know, even if they have their rubbish, and now it is full. And another note now, I mean, rubbish coming from right Laughlin coming down to Tong, even in Zekas, right, coming down to Tong, to Portsmouth supposed to have what they call a landfill,
Mm-hmm.
so that can break down the wear and tear of the vehicles, So I say in the Prime Minister, as his Minister of Finance, however, he's supposed to at least put some more garbage trucks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon to you and the listening.
Yes, ma'am.
What do people pay tax for in a country is to take care of all those things there. We pay VAT, we pay tax, and that is part to disburse with the garbage. In the history of Dominica, we never had that. The Prime Minister told us of how many millions he has in the bank. And you know for a fact, all of us know for a fact that Solly's waste talk about their trucks. We had private vehicles that carried out the garbage, and up now they are not being paid. Pay the people, buy more garbage trucks, and disburse of the garbage. What happened? That is our new economy garbage. Why everywhere in Dominica have garbage? Well, if only thinking that is a new economy and are proud of it. Or you talk about the health by the 8,000 and all the person and fogging and doing all kind of foolishness. So what about the garbage if all this sense and on the untidiness that is going on in the country? It's not a hindrance to all you eyes and to us and to visitors and to everybody's health. Come on. Take a stand and do something. You all can do it. Please clean up Dominica. We say we are nature island and we should not be in a condition like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The country, the nature island, does not belong to the politicians. We have to take care of what is going on around us. Let's be clean. Haven't you seen in the past few weeks? Hello, this is not politics. Talk to me.
Matt, good afternoon.
Yes, talk to me.
Matt,
Yes.
The biggest problem with our garbage is bad management.
Okay.
Absolutely bad management. First and foremost, you cannot have one truck for the island. And most of those trucks we get, they're second-hand trucks. They're already reconditioned trucks. They've already done their lifespan. And that's why some of the councils, for instance, in England, after 2 or 3 years, they've done their thing, they put them aside. Somebody wants them, they recondition them, or they give it to you free of charge. You recondition them. But Matt, they have already done their thing. Now, each district...
So they're overused, in other words.
Overused. They have already done their work. So when you bring it down here, and remember they're on flat, no hills, flat. So when you have one truck doing the island, it's a joke. It's only a matter of time, months for it to break down. Secondly, each district, we should have 4 garbage trucks. One in the north, one in the northeast, one in the south, one in the southeast. Right? And another thing, if you have the trucks going around the island, I don't think it is wise, it's prudent for it to be managed in Roseau. The councils, Portsmouth Town Council should be able to be managing that truck. Roseau should be able to manage the truck. Grand Bay and La Plaine should be able to manage that truck. They are on the ground. The other thing is, about a year ago, Matt, they went wrong and they said, well, we want to manage the truck, that's solid waste, and what we want you to do is separate your garbage, right? The garbage, broken bottles, plastic bottles, and paper waste. Matt, I have 4 barrels at my home, 4 barrels at my home. I have been doing that for more than a year. Not once in that time a garbage truck has come wrong and say, well, we come to collect X, Y, Z. Every time the same truck comes, which is maybe once every 4 weeks, I say, are you taking all the garbage? I say, yes, sir, because there's no other truck. So what is the point? I mean, is that a red herring? Why are you asking us to separate? And I thought it was a very good idea, to separate it. But they're not collecting it. Management problem. Management should see that we need 4 trucks. Management should have people working on the road. Management should pay the price. So your truck break down and you have private people picking it up. Management should pay it. Management should push the government for more trucks. It is absolutely management problem because rubbish is...
But I'm hearing the management, give you credit to them. They've been trying but not getting enough monies from central government.
Well, the buck has to stop with management, eh?
Well, if management can't do anything, what do you expect them to do? 2:32 is the afternoon time. We take another phone call. Hello.
Hello, Matt. I have to say thanks or congratulations to our mayor in Portsmouth, Mr. Titus Francis, because I don't know if it has anything to do with him, I suppose, but every other week they clear our rubbish down here. And Matt, on Saturdays, and the rubbish will clear midday Saturdays, and by Saturday evening, someone will put a bag there. So what can we do?
All right, thank you. Mr. Peltier, the problem is government and the populace. Dominicans no longer take pride, is that true, in the country, and with the introduction of these fast food restaurants, the problem is worsening. The government needs to invest in at least 6 garbage trucks. The unsightly image of the men sitting in the garbage on a dump truck has to stop. Most importantly, somebody says here on a WhatsApp message, the people need to change their attitude and acceptance of rubbish being all over the place. Again, Matt, it's pride, and more pride. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon, sir.
Matt, I think we shouldn't have this problem. Let's think about it as human beings. A government having $258 million in the bank. You can't have a few rubbish trucks? Come on, tell me something, man. You can't pay the workers? Even employment workers in salaries. Money spent for election, all kind of thing, millions of dollars. Come on, Dominicans. Wake up. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Matt. They need to go back to the days, that's from the diaspora, when my parents would burn their rubbish. Also, the different groups in the villages take the initiative and clean. This is what we did with our youth groups. It was really fun at that time. Thank you very much. 2:34, we continue talk on the block. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pelty.
2 minutes. Yes, sir.
Mr. Pelty, good afternoon to your listeners. I addressed this issue. I spoke on the issue on the last sitting of Parliament because one of the items on the supplementary appropriation was, I think, the purchase of 2 trucks for the town of Portsmouth. I disagree with you completely when you say that this is not about politicians and government. It is. It is because of the mismanagement of the country while we are facing this problem. It's incompetence, mismanagement, corruption, and that's what it's all about. You have a system that this administration met in place. The purpose of the environmental tax levy, when the system was set up by the World Bank, was the fact that for there to be equity in the collection and the payment for the collection of garbage and disposal, that you have people paying. When you go to the shop, you buy a tin of sardine, whatever you buy. The merchant pass the cost, the levy that he pays at the port to the buyer and the person buying the goods at the end. And the government collects it, and that money was intended to collect the garbage and dispose the garbage at a central site. There were issues and comments and some for against a central site, but that was there. They met the system working. Up to about a year or so ago, the system was working. You have a government now all over the place giving hundreds of thousands of dollars for what they say it's for small business, for all sorts of things. At the same time, they're talking about how many hotels they're promoting, how many hotels are going to build, nature tourism, and so on. Yet the country is getting worse in terms of garbage collection. Who is responsible for providing the funds to the corporation? It is the Minister of Finance and central government. The money has been collected. So if things have changed, if imports have gone down so low that you're not collecting enough money from the environmental levy to support the garbage collection system, say so. If sales are so low in terms of your revenue being collected from sales tax and you cannot support the system, say so. The people have been trying their best. The populace in the East Coast, myself, you're building temporary support using wrong wood so that the dogs do not get to the garbage. They ask you to separate it. You do all these things. And the only corporation that has the responsibility to do the collection and the disposal, they are not doing it. Why? Because they are not able to pay the truckers that have been providing them with the trucking service. But yet the same administration, the same government has money all over the place, giving out for everything, giving out contracts where a person building a bridge can make $6 million in profit and leave Dominica with it. It is the government. Why can't we see the problem, Dominica, is the government, the mismanagement of the system, the corrupt system, and that the people, what the government is doing, is not for the benefit of the country per se. It is for the benefit for them to stay in office, and we get the fringe benefit. For some people get it in terms of the seniors get something out of it. But their program, their policy, the administration is to remain in office.
Caller, thank you very much. 2:38. We're going to take a break. We'll come back after this. This is the Talk on the Block.
My phone is my everything. It's where I make plans.
You at 7.
It makes me laugh.
When Africans go to the bank, I would like to say hi to my money and leave.
Lets me share my happiest moments and hear a comforting voice when I need it most.
It'll be all right.
It's like a best friend. That's why I get everything out of my phone with a Flow prepaid combo plan.
Save up to 95% on data, talk, and text in one simple plan. The bigger you go, the bigger you save on the fastest and most reliable 4G network. Dial *129# now to activate our 7-day large combo plan and get 1,000 megs of data, 1,000 minutes, and 1,000 texts for just $29.99 with Flow.
Drivers Auto Supplies has just received a shipment of quality used tires. This shipment includes a wide range of size of 15 tires. Yes, you heard me. We have received the popular size of 15 tires for your cars, pickup trucks, passenger buses, and SUVs. We have also received many size 13s and 14s. Of course, we always have available size 16s to 18. Bus drivers, vehicle rental companies, taxi drivers, and private vehicle owners, we have the tires that you have been asking for. So come visit us today or call us at telephone number 277-0505. That is 277-0505. Drivers Auto Supplies in Portersville, where Hayden's Wholesale used to be. Drivers Auto Supplies, quality tires at good prices. Come get your quality tires today.
We are back and we're taking your phone calls here on Talk on the Block. 4493095. How do we? We've all agreed, at least most of us, that we have a rubbish disposal problem. How do we resolve this? Hello, talk to me.
Yes, Matt, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do have a rubbish disposal problem, Matt, even in Cochrane, Matt. Matt, one of the problems we have, and that's the biggest problem, there are not enough of us, Matt, who are buying rubbish trucks to rent to the solid waste system. More of us...
But these people are saying that they're not getting paid when they do their work.
We should have more rubbish trucks owned by private people renting to the solid waste.
Well, you're not listening to me. They're saying that they're not getting paid. There are many who have done work for the solid waste and have not gotten paid. So how do you encourage people to go into this? I suspect you're not listening to me, sir. 240, hello, talk to me.
Matt.
Yes.
Tell Dominicans, I say, they're too wicked. They're not paying solid waste. They want solid waste to come and pick up rubbish for them.
But they're paying for solid waste. At least many of them who import vehicles into the island pay at least $3,000 per vehicle. You're saying they're not paying?
They're too like freeness. Tell them go and pay solid waste. And
I just told you how they're paying solid waste. But I suspect you may have your own agenda. It's 241, hello.
Government have their part to play.
Yes,
Government have their part to play, but we also have our part to play, man. But if you look at a lot of the people that living in homes, in houses,
yes,
what should they dispose their garbage? They never put the garbage in front of their door. They always look for some heap to put it on. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you too. Hello.
Yes, hi, Matt. How are you?
How are you doing? Yes.
I'm good. I've got a question. Who pays solid waste?
Well, there's a structure in place where all the vehicles that come into the island, they collect a portion of the tax, and that tax should go to solid waste. There should be millions of dollars. That has been happening since the days of Mr. Julius Timothy. I was trying to get him a minute ago, but no response, huh?
So the operative board should, right? Should.
Yes.
The money should be there, but it's not.
It's not being used, I suspect, for that purpose.
I want to support, I think, a WhatsApp message you got where the person stated that years gone by, our parents had like compost heap, and somehow the garbage was being disposed of in a responsible way, right? So if they came about with this system that you put your garbage out and it will be collected, you cannot start a service and not complete it because it's causing exactly what we're seeing right now. So you can't pass the buck. Somebody has to be held accountable for this. You can't just push it around. It's like sending your kid to school. Who is responsible for paying that child's school fee? When they don't receive the school fee, you're going to blame the child? Come on, there has to be an adult. There has to be an adult right now. This is just juvenile behavior going on, irresponsibility. People are just like so reckless right now. exactly what's happening now. That's what you're having after a disaster. You can't have rubbish stacking up. It's going to cause an epidemic, and it's just like a domino effect. So we're not talking about a week of rubbish sitting by. They're talking about months.
Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Somebody's just telling me, a private owner of a truck, solid waste, owes me $50,000. Hello, talk to me.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt.
Uh-huh.
Matt, I giving solid waste an advice, eh?
Yes.
It's a good advice. Take initiative that the people only bring their rubbish when the truck is coming. You don't see the truck, keep your rubbish at your home. Do it like Barbados. You don't have to meet the truck, you have to go back at your home with your rubbish. That is what they have to do in Dominica right now.
Wow. 2:44, everybody's going to come up with their own suggestions too. But we need to find a solution, okay? Hello. Let's try to say, some people say, it's the politicians that causing this, so blame them. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, let me tell you, Matt.
Yeah.
I can tell you how much money that the government picking up on behalf of solid waste.
All right, you've done your calculations. Go ahead.
Right. Every month, 200 vehicles coming from Japan. Each vehicle pays $3,000 environmental levy. That is for when the vehicle becomes derelict.
Right.
So that solid waste can get rid of the vehicle. That is $600,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
If you multiply it by 12, that is $7.2 million a year. Everybody that leaves the country, $4 EC coming out from the departure tax to go to solid waste, to get rid of garbage. Anytime a cruise ship comes, they pay. If you buy a bottle of water, you buy a corn curd, anything you buy, you pay consumption tax so that solid waste can get rid of the bottle. So the main problem here is government picking up money on behalf of solid waste, and solid waste is not getting the money. That is the problem. Everywhere in the world, solid waste companies are the richest companies in the world because they have the revenue source, but government is giving them the money.
So where's the money?
It's everywhere else.
Or they're spending it in other areas?
Just give solid waste their money and problem fixed.
Government give solid waste what is owed to them, okay? I was trying to reach Mr. Timothy. He was the one who sort of took that initiative with the UWP government. Maybe he has some answers as to where that money may be. It's going to at this time. 2:45, Mr. Timothy, can you tell us? I know you're retired now, but maybe you may have some answers. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon again.
Yes.
Common sense should tell anybody. From time definite, most people never used to separate the garbage. I think the amount of garbage the country have, if everybody had to put out their garbage outside it, so it will be, there are a lot of people who select their garbage and they compost it as well. And if the solid waste people are saying that when they are not getting paid, whoever working it, they are not getting paid, you cannot ask us what is the solution. The solution is up ahead. We cannot find the solution for it. And if it's we, the people that putting out our garbage, it used to be so for years and we never ever have that problem in this country. So it's a management level that is not us, and solid waste should put their foot down long time. It's not about the people, the consumer. No, it's management level that is not, we can't do nothing about that. We can only control the rubbish. But if they do not pass on time to pick up the garbage, first of all, they used to say put white goods outside. And they used to say all 6 months before they come and collect the white goods, having an ISO on the road. You cannot blame the people when they say put out the white goods and they stay 6 long months before they collect it. When they finish talking about rodents and mosquito and Zika and all foolishness like that. But it's what they are doing. You have to blame those on top, not those from the below. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And those of you who have made contributions to Q95, feel free to just walk in or send your contribution. Okay, thank you very much. This is Q95. We'll give you an update by tomorrow. Hello, talk to me. Hello. Good afternoon. Let's try another phone call. Hello.
Blessings to you.
My brother, how you doing? How worried are you about the garbage problem?
Matt Taylor. Matt, to tell you the truth, my man, Matt, before I fell sick there, I was buying my garbage bags and start from almost Miro and go right lie you to come back to enjoy, you know, man.
You're serious?
Yeah, man.
You're very concerned.
Me alone, Matt, just, and some stupid labor rights come and say, oh, it's pay somebody paid me to do it. And all of a sudden, you know, I had a guy who on drugs helping me one time, The second time he came, he helped me, and then he disappeared. And then I fell sick. But Matt, to tell you the truth, Matt, the lady who just spoke, Matt, is a management problem. And Matt, look at what the brother make the calculation having to do with the amount of vehicles that come in and multiply that by 12 and how much you get in and all of that.
Over $7 million, yes.
Matt, everything is just falling apart because the head is a rotten, Matt. Matt, them man talk about shredding tires. You know how many years they're talking about that? Them man talking about collecting breakable bottles. You know how many years? Plastic bottles, how many years? And the composting. Look at that, we're talking about your nature island. Can you imagine everybody had to bring the garbage, put the garbage in a special container? They could sell the containers or provide the containers. We hear about CBI money, millions and millions of dollars. All my waste, I collect it in a pail and I go and pour it behind there in my plantain and fig and what I have, you know, Matt. Several people, they are not even aware of that. And tell them, man, Geno, I'm sorry for you because you can't talk. Matt, you know Geno can't talk.
He can't talk.
He will come then play diplomat and Geno can't say what is the problem with solid waste. And it is sad. And when we try to blame, can you imagine them and have dump trucks disposing of garbage? And when you have millions of dollars you're claiming, you cannot buy at least 5 or 6 garbage trucks, Matt? Matt, I'm sorry for Dominica.
I tell you, if the problem is not resolved, we may have a health problem on our hands.
And Matt, before I close, you there with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
A lot of foreigners that are coming to Dominica, renting houses that have no water and no toilet. Be careful. Thank you.
Be very careful. Matt, we have come to a stage where we are importing so much more than we use. Matt, people used to be doing their juicing from local fruits. We drank water from our taps. We had to fast. We had no fast food joints. Today, we import water, boxes, fast foods, etc. Matter of solid waste management has not grown parallel to the changes in our consumption. That's a very important point. Our solid waste management has not grown parallel to the changes in our consumption culture. We can't blame people for putting garbage out for the authorities. Matt, the blame falls squarely at the step of the government. Government, please intervene. Something has to be done. Remember, I said that it's May 30, 2017. Talk to me. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Yes.
Matt, you know, something I find that is unbelievable, Matt.
Tell me.
You in town, in the village where we live, you know, you have the rubbish people will come and pick up the rubbish ever so often. Sometimes it will wait a whole week before they come and take it up. They will take in certain areas and don't take in other areas. But Matt, that lady from Portsmouth said that they're taking the rubbish every other time. Why is it a problem that by the time you reach Mero to Salisbury and even after Salisbury, there is a huge amount of garbage there, man. That is just not right. It's just not fair. I have been going to Salisbury every night for the past month. And rubbish, man, just go down there yourself. You'll see rubbish. It's unbelievable. And it's not, I mean, come on, how can people hold rubbish in their home for a whole month? If somebody takes their rubbish out for expecting the truck to come at a certain time, and the truck doesn't come, by that time you'd have a whole pile of rubbish there. How I know which bag is my own? Thank you, man.
Thank you, too. It's 2:52. We don't have too much time. Hello.
Matt, good afternoon.
Uh-huh.
Matt, you know, your last statement there, you kind of mentioned or alluded to what I was thinking of. Matt, clearly, I mean, something as important as garbage collection. But really, that is a trivial matter, you know, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
To be discussed on national radio. Matt, it is the role and the responsibility of the government to assign the landfill and get the personnel to man them and get the trucks to take the garbage from person's home or wherever they are and get them to the landfill. But this is the role of a government. And this is why I will say, Matt, Dominica is being dismantled. And I want to tell Dominicans something, you know. Matt, you are going to get one outbreak of leptospirosis. Matt, if you do not know what leptospirosis is, it is a sickness that allegedly killed one of my brothers, Matt, in 1990. Matt, this is a sickness carried by rodents. and rodents would infect the dogs, Matt, and people come into contact with the dogs and the cats, and they would get that disease. Matt, clearly this administration does not care about the welfare of the Dominican people. Matt, it means Dominica does not have a government. Matt, the role of a government is to look after its citizens. Matt, something as trivial, as minute as garbage collection is going on for months. Matt, when you're going to put garbage at one location in excess of a week, Matt, you're going to have decay there. Matt, you'd have rodents already infested that garbage, probably stray dogs, probably stray pigs. And Matt, you know, you have the cockroaches and those other insects that carry all those diseases. Matt, I mean, are we trying to kill all Dominicans? Matt, is it that all Dominicans' lives are not important, so they just do not care? And this is why I still cannot understand why are we not seeing the bigger picture. Matt, Dominica really, let me tell you something in closing. Because I have something I'm about to say, but in closing. Matt, Dominica, the government that is posing as the government of Dominica is an occupying force. Period, Matt. This is an occupying force, and they are there to squeeze the life out of Dominicans. And if we cannot make them economically poor, we'll make them health-wise, we'll make sure that they're sick, so they cannot challenge, so they cannot stand up. And Matt, it is time again we get serious with this country. Matt, this government needs to go. Something as trivial as garbage collection, the government cannot do. It's deliberate. It's deliberate. It's a deliberate act on the health and the safety of the Dominican people, man.
It's getting worse. I have traveled around Dominica, and the garbage pile up is just getting worse in the various communities. Hello, talk to me. Somebody do something about this. 255, Mr. General Jacob. Maybe I will try to talk to you sometime next week, and we'll see if we can get some answers. Hello.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
My garbage gets picked up once every 2 weeks if I am lucky.
Okay.
I'm right in Goodwill. Matt, we must ask the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance is who should know where that money is. Ask the Minister of Finance. Good afternoon.
All right, ask the Minister of Finance if I get a chance. I'll ask him again. I think I heard him speaking some time ago about garbage disposal. Garbage disposal, sorry. 255, talk to me. Hello, another phone call. Hi.
Good afternoon, Matt, again.
Yes.
Matt, the dirtiest country in Caribbean right now is Dominica.
The dirtiest country? I don't know if I'll agree with you on that one. I don't know if I will agree with you. We have garbage problems, but I don't think it's the dirtiest country on island. No. Thank you very much. That's just my opinion, huh? Hello, talk to me, another phone call. Hello.
Brother, Dominica is a pariah state. Matt, Dominica is a failed state from the governance level, judiciary, environmental. Just mention it, Matt. Dominica
crime is on the increase, huh?
Yeah, it is a failed state, Matt. It is a failed state.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Let's take on another phone call. We have just about 4 minutes. Hello. What's the solution? Hello.
Matt,
yes.
Dominica.
Well, my brother, that's your opinion. I'm telling you that I don't believe you. Hello, talk to me.
Matt.
Yes. Watch your language on the People's Radio, my brother. 257. Hello, talk to me.
What's up? Greetings, my big brother. What's going on?
How are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, I thought the government a week ago with talking about the carrying of the country, taking care of the country. What is that garbage business? You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of garbage now.
You see, action speaks louder than words, you know. They're just talking, but now the people seeing it on the ground, and people talking about keep your garbage in your yard. You cannot keep garbage in your yard, my brother. I'm going to pile up and it stinks. They're supposed to have the truck, the money there for CBI and them things. They can't buy a truck. Them things is nonsense. The government is the one to blame. Why people paying taxes for no brethren?
All right, caller. 257 is the afternoon time. We have a few more phone calls. All my telephone lines inundated with phone calls. Talk to me. Hello.
Matt, pleasant afternoon.
Yes.
Matt, the biggest concern is the length of time, the rubbish.
Uh-huh. the length of time the rubbish stays with you. We take another phone call quickly. 2 more minutes. This call is from the diaspora. Hello.
Yes, Matt. Good day.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Matt. You know, I like Q. You know, but you know, one thing I always like Q. I think we just stay in the complaint mode too much. We doesn't go into the action mode enough.
I've been asking for solutions all afternoon, sir.
Yeah, and I'm saying sometimes we can do it as single individual. You see, when you're dealing with somebody, you have to study their psychology. You have to study how they function. This government is a reactionary government. They don't function in no proactive kind of way. They react. So since we know they react, we can get them to do things, you know, by just organizing them to react. You see how they react to 60 Minutes. You see how they react to this. They react to that. Every movement that we get for change in Dominica is a reactionary change. So it's simple. Let us organize it. Either we're going to carry all the garbage by the financial center, or we're going to have a hashtag Dominica Day where we shred our garbage. But some kind of way we set up a premise that the government know we give them a deadline, or you either deal with this thing, or we're going to deal with it in a different way. And I bet you, my brother, you will see Roosevelt carry that his best, because that's how he functions at his best, to react to people's concerns instead of sitting down and taking care of their concerns genuinely. So let us do something about it. If we're going to call hashtag rubbish day, then let's call hashtag rubbish day on Dominica. You know? But we have to do something about it for this government to do something about it, because that's how they function.
Thank you, caller. All right, we'll take our final call and we'll wrap it up. Maybe next week we'll try to invite Geno Jacob, the PRO of Solid Waste, with us. Hello, talk to me. Geno Jacob, get ready for some questions, and maybe some answers. Hello.
Hello, Mark.
Hi.
The only thing that they react to is boots on the ground. I guess the people could go up to the financial center and say, hey, we're not moving until you go and pick the garbage up.
All right. Let's that's your suggestion. Thank you. Maybe we should protest about this. Our final phone call. Hello, talk to me.
Hello. Good afternoon, Matt.
I'm
calling from overseas.
Yes.
And I want to say, I see the problem as an easy problem to solve. Because right now, even when I'm speaking to you, there is outside of my yard some containers that the health department delivered. I think that's that belongs to the solid waste. One is green, one is orange. Down in the lower tongue, they get another 3. The green, the orange, and a black basket for recycling. And it's simple. I mean, the order has to be set, and you have to organize. The manager has to organize the process and allow the people. One of the things you might ask, how is it going to operate? For example, every meter for a person is marked on the container, so nobody can steal another person's container. So you put the meter number on the container, and there are a lot of process that can take place. So I think, Dominica, we can do something better than that.
All right, caller, thank you very much. And I want to say good afternoon to you in Dominica and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. We join Flo at this time. Stick around.
My phone is my everything. It's where I make plans. Due at 7. It makes me laugh.
When Africans go to the bank, I would like to say hi to my money and leave.
Lets me share my happiest moments and hear a comforting voice when I need it most.
It'll be all right.
It's like a best friend. That's why I get everything out of my phone with a Flow prepaid combo plan.
Save up to 95% on data, talk, and text in one simple plan. The bigger you go, the bigger you save on the fastest.
Somebody and tell them.